if it actually works this time. More messages. So, talking about this, it's probably the last time I talk about these game key cards, man, because I'm just tired of seeing them. Really, I'm tired of seeing these game key cards. This I'm not shocked by. I'm not shocked one single bit by any of this. Um, because it's a record with game key cards, and two, it's a track record with Capcom. They're known for not caring about actual Switch physicals. They've done it for years now with all the Resident Evil games. We'll get into it. The original Switch collections that they released on the Switch with I think it was called the Originals collection. They released Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1 Remake, but only one of them was on the cartridge. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6. Only Resident Evil 4 was on the cartridge, the other two were just a download key, well, a download code. Also, as well, you have basically, I think some of the Mega Man, I don't know. Well, it's just a track record with Capcom. I'm not really surprised, man. I'm really not surprised. I really am. Because, again, it's not shocked. You see right there, game keycard nonsense. Game keycard. Just fed up with it, I really am. This is what I said. Anyone wanting to get the Switch 2, don't waste your time. Honestly, do not waste your time. Honestly, don't. Do not waste your time, because it's just, this is all it is now. And you keep having these Nintendo fanboys making these excuses up. That's all you have, these Nintendo shills defending this crap continuously, which is pathetic. Saying, oh, this is awesome, or not actually owning the game, not actually owning the the game in physical format. Let's just shill it because we're Nintendo fanboys. It's a joke, man. It really is. It's a joke. This is why we keep seeing more of the game key cards. Because again, you have I saw one Nintendo shell on Twitter. Well, it's X. Say, oh, I'm gonna buy these game key cards, and I'm gonna take a picture of when it's arrived at my house. No one cares. As I said, these Nintendo fanboys, I'm gonna say it how it is, are some of the biggest losers on the planet. They really are. The Nintendo fanbase is some of the biggest losers on the planet. They defend anything. They can release the same game 60 times in a row with no upgrades, no nothing, and these Nintendo fanboys and these Nintendo shills will literally buy it. Literally, Nintendo could literally pee in these people's mouths and they'd love it. No doubt. It's pathetic. It really is. It's not even a shock anymore. And let's be realistic. People defending this garbage collection, they're like, oh, this is a great collection. No, it's not. Praising stuff like this, physical's not going to exist in the future, because again, this is why I can't stand any of these gaming journalists or these gaming shill YouTubers that get game reviews, they're paid to kiss games asses. It's just a fact, it's the truth, and I don't care if anyone in here doesn't agree, because it's the truth. people don't want to hear the truth and they can't handle the truth. This is why the industry is in the state that it's in, and why the industry is a complete joke. But again, keep defending these game key cards, and then wonder why you're not getting any physical games, because again, idiots keep buying this crap. They keep buying it, and then you have a $100 controller that just says Resident Evil on it. But again, you Nintendo losers, because that's really what you are, you will buy anything. Let's be realistic. This controller could just have a letter R on it, and you Nintendo fanboys would soak it up and buy it. It's just a fact. It really is, and this is the last time I'm talking about it, because I really just don't care. I'm not even shocked by this at all, because it's just so funny. When it comes to Capcom, no one says anything. But oh, when every other company does it, let's bash them. But oh, when it comes to Capcom, let's just shill, because these paid shills of Capcom, they'll never say anything negative about Capcom because the shills. It's just garbage, honestly. It's just a joke. And you actually have true physicals. These are from indie devs. These are literally from indie devs, not multi-billion-dollar companies like Capcom, and they're putting a full game on the cartridge. What does that say? What? Make the excuses up now, Nintendo fanboys. Make the excuses up now. These are indie devs, and they're putting the full game on the cartridge. Yes, it's $50, and if you're complaining about $50 for a Nintendo Switch 2 game, you honestly, you should just stop playing gaming, because gaming is an expensive hobby. Which would you rather have? A game at like being like 50, you own the game, or buy a game key card, you don't own it. And guess what? Resident Evil 9 on Switch 2 is $70 for the digital and the probably the Resident Evil 9. And guess what? I'm not buying them, because I don't support this anti-consumer BS, and I don't care if anyone's offended by it, because I'm tired of these Nintendo fanboys. I'm tired of people defending this crap. I'm tired of them defending the game key cards, like, oh, the game key cards are a good thing, you can resell them. No one's buying game key cards. No one is. So again, the full game's on the cartridge. This is an indie dev. Free games. So again, all the industry, all Nintendo, everyone keeps putting the blame on Nintendo. Like, oh, Nintendo didn't give them different options for cartridges. They didn't give them. Yeah, there's a $100 controller. They really believe that this is worth $100. This garbage. Capcom really believe in their head that this controller is worth $100. So many shills are shilling this. Oh, this is an awesome controller. It's a lazy controller. The lettering is in black. It should have been white. But again, Nintendo just love it. It's basically, this looks like a newspaper. This is gotta be the worst controller I've ever seen in my life, and it's $100 for this crap. But again, you Nintendo fanboys love anything. As I said, Nintendo could just they could literally take a crap in a box and you buy it. These Nintendo fanboys would buy it. But let's be realistic now. They buy it. Typical Nintendo fanboys. Biggest losers on the planet is to defend crap like this. I said, full games on the cartridges. Keep these people that keep making excuses. Game key cards are awesome. Game key cards are awesome. The better I prefer digital because I'm lazy. I don't want to I'm going to say that as well. And I don't care who's offended by it. If you can't be bothered to get out of bed or whatever and walk 5 feet across your room, you're just lazy. Simple as that, you're just lazy. It's as simple as that, you're lazy. And that's what a lot of people need to be told. If you can't walk 5 feet to just get a cartridge and put it in your Nintendo Switch or or put a disc in your PS5, you're lazy. It's as simple as that. And being lazy as well is a sin. But that's what it is. Oh, it's more convenient digital. Yeah, because you're lazy. It's just a fact. And I see no one's supporting the stream. Not really surprised because again they can't handle the truth. This is what I said, and this is why it's the last time I'm talking about this, because if no one's going to support it, I'm not going to waste my time talking about it. But yeah, I recently got this. You can literally get these games. You can get RE Village and RE7 on PS5 that runs at 60 frames, 4K, and the full game's on the disc. I guarantee you they don't include the DLC at all with that version. I guarantee you've got to buy the DLC again because again these companies don't care. These companies do not care, and it's time people wake up to the reality now. These indie dev companies are the ones that actually care. They actually want you to own the game. They respect gamers. Capcom doesn't. But again, Capcom are just a scumbag company anyway. They did it with the Ace Attorney collection. The only released Ace Attorney on the Switch in America and Japan. They didn't release it in Europe. They only released the PS4 version in Europe. They didn't release it in America or Japan. Capcom is just a scummy company. They really are. I mean, what they said about their own classic games. They said, "Hey, we don't care about the old classic games." That's basically what Capcom said. So it says everything that I need to know. Capcom does not care about game preservation at all. They don't care. And all these companies are literally exposing that they don't care about consumers. They only care about money. That's what they're exposing. All these companies as well are against the stop killing games movement that was going on. All these companies that are making game key cards are against that movement. Yeah, wonder why? Because they don't want you to own anything, because when you actually own anything, same with the Nintendo fanboys that are like, oh, emulating is stealing and stuff like that. Emulating that's stealing. Oh, I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I'm gonna pay $70 for the same game that's on Nintendo Switch 1. But you have a lot of people as well saying that it's just a hate movement. It's not, it's just the truth. Nintendo doesn't care. Nor does Capcom. They don't care. And Nintendo making this option to start with proves that they are moving towards an all digital future. That's what they're moving towards. That's honestly what Nintendo's moving towards, an all digital future. Now, there's a difference. I want to make it very clear. If people prefer digital, that's fine. The problem that I have, game key cards, the reason I have a problem with it because it's a replacement of true physical media. That's what they want to get rid of. Accepting game key cards is basically a replacement of actual true physical. And the more people that accept game key cards, you're gonna have no physicals in the future. Any. If you keep buy, if people keep buying this, there's going to be no physical games for any Switch game in the future, and there's going to be no physical PS5 games. There's going to be no physical anything. And again, I don't know what that meme means. I'm not bothering reading it, but it's probably some dumbass meme from these Zoomers. I'm not even reading it. We're just gonna ban you. I don't know what that stupid meme means, and I don't particularly care. I've seen it going around that number. I don't know what it means, and I don't particularly care. So that's why I said we're just gonna ban that person. I'm not wasting my energy. But honestly, they really believe that this is worth. They honestly believe that this is worth $100. What are they smoking? $100 for this? You can't be real. $100 for this? What a joke, man. People thought the amiibo was bad. $50 for an amiibo figure. $100 for the same controller, but it just says Resident Evil on it. And it's not like it's 3D. It just looks like they basically photocopied it onto it. There's no 3D it popping out or anything like that. It's just a scam. Just look at it. It's awful. It really is an awful controller. As I said, this is not rage bait. This is how I really feel. This is what these companies really think of you. That they'll put no effort in. They could have easily put Resident Evil Requiem or something, and they could have put like the Umbrella logo here and here, and then they could have made the buttons like they could have made them in like Resident Evil colors or something like the Umbrella logo, or they could have it saying Requiem there. But no, we're Capcom. We're lazy. We're just gonna slap the word Resident Evil on the controller. These Nintendo fanboys will just buy it anyway, and they're right. They're perfectly right. You might, if you're gonna buy this collection, just buy it digital. Seriously, there's no point. There is no. It gets me with these people that buy game key cards as well. You don't own it. It's the same as digital. Just buy it digital. It gets me. What is the point? We all know that why they brought game key cards. It's to get rid of physical media and replace physical media. But why go out just to buy a game key card? Just to download it? Just buy it digital. It's the same thing because as soon as you get home, you're going to have to download it. Oh, but they use that argument. Well, you can resell it. Well, guess what? No one's buying game key cards second hand. No one is. No one's buying them. The only people that are buying them is these literal Nintendo YouTubers, because again they're paid by Nintendo, or they shill everything that Nintendo makes. Like they were the even it's just been announced. What is it? Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch 2 edition, and it still runs at 30 frames. And I guarantee you they'll charge you like 70 or 60 for the same damn game. They're no different from PlayStation. They are no different from PlayStation. They honestly ain't. They're no different. PlayStation's been doing the same thing for decades. You've got Nintendo doing it now. All Nintendo is doing is just jumping on the bandwagon of what PlayStation used to do. It's just pathetic, man. It really is. $100 for this. But again, the Nintendo shills and the Nintendo fanboys will go out and buy this day one. They'll be like, oh, let's do a review and an unboxing of this controller. Oh, this controller's awesome. It's the best controller ever made. The Nintendo Switch 2 is the best console ever made. I'm a Nintendo shill. Pokemon Legends is a masterpiece. So, which it isn't. But and anyone that says anything negative about Nintendo is labeled a Nintendo rage baiter, a hater. Oh, it's just a hate train. It's cool. It's a cool trend to be negative about Nintendo. No, people have had enough of Nintendo now. That's why you've got so many people making so many videos being negative about Nintendo. Because they've had enough. They've had enough. They've had enough of Nintendo and their garbage. Game key cards. People have had enough of it. They're sick of it. The Nintendo Switch 2. It's not the best console ever made. Yes, it's more powerful than the Switch 1, but if they're gonna carry on with these game key cards, and let's be realistic, the Nintendo Switch 2 is not selling out. Every single time I look on certain websites, it's always in stock. So it's not selling. The Nintendo Switch 2 is not selling. Well, in massive numbers it's not. Because no one wants it. There's no games. There is no games on the Nintendo Switch 2. There's none. Because all they keep doing is releasing the same games again and again and again and again, selling you the same game for the same price. And as I said, if you're gonna pick these games up, here's some advice. Buy them on PS5. I got these two games for 25. 25 for Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7. And you get the DLC free with it. Yes, it's a download code, but you get it free. I guarantee you probably get it free with the Nintendo Switch 2. But again, PS5 runs at 60 frames per second, 4K. Switch 2 is most likely going to run at 30 frames, or it's going to run at 60 and it's going to continuously drop. And it's not going to run at true 4K. So, literally, you are paying for a downgraded version, and they're going to charge you full price for a game that's been out for like nearly 3 years now. Yet you can go get it on PS5, it runs at 4K, 60 frames per second, and you own the game. So, if you want to decide to go buy it on the Nintendo Switch 2, then you do you. I'd rather actually own the game than buy a game keycard. And if you have a Nintendo Switch 2 anyway, just buy a digital. There's no point to buying a game keycard. Because people that do buy game key cards haven't got a very, I'm sorry to say, but they haven't got a very high IQ. Because it's no different from buying a digital game. They just use that excuse you can resell it. Obviously, you can resell everything, but you might as well just own it digital, because no matter what, when those servers shut down, it's going to be the same fate as the digital version. You're not going to be able to access it again. Now, it's been a track record. Nintendo's even admitted these game key cards are not going to be supported forever. So as soon as they decide, hey, we're shutting the servers down for the Nintendo Switch 2, guess what? You don't own that game anymore. They done it with the Nintendo Wii. They shut the shop down. They done it with the 3DS. So if you own any game digital on those platforms, you lose access. You don't own them anymore. You really don't. It's just a joke. It really is. Hello, welcome to the stream. But yeah, just buy them on PS5. Honestly, just buy them on PS5. Save yourself some money. Don't give Capcom over $90. People are saying it's a great deal. Just buy it digital then. There's no reason to support game key cards, because if you're a digital gamer, that's perfectly fine. My issue is with these game key cards. Game key cards are a cancer to the gaming industry as a whole. But yeah, these, as I said, you can get the full games for very cheap now. Brand new. You can see it's brand new. You can clearly see that it's brand new. You get the this includes the DLC. I don't know whether it's a download code, but it doesn't really matter because I don't care about the DLC. But just get it on PS5 or just get it on PC. Why would I want to buy it on the Nintendo Switch 2? Just buy it on PC or buy it on PS5. There's no reason to buy it on the Switch. There's no reason to. It's gonna run like crap. Like even Cyberpunk. That on the Switch, it's better. And hello and welcome to the stream. Cyberpunk is a better experience on the PS5 than the Switch. On the Switch, it constantly drops frames. It's nowhere near the level of PS5. Nowhere near. And this is someone that's played 100 hours of it on the Switch too. There's instances where the game will just drop in quality. It'll go from 1080p, and sometimes it might even look like 720p. I'm not even joking. And I was playing it on quality mode, and the quality's still, with the NPCs, it's like takes time for them to load. Never had that issue on PS5. So yeah, a lot of these games, who cares about a lot of these games that they're bringing on the Switch too? These are decade-old games. I didn't buy a Switch 2 to play old games that are like 3 years old now. I didn't buy the Switch 2 to play Resident Evil 7. I bought it for exclusives. The only two exclusives, because there's only two exclusives. The Metroid Prime doesn't count because that's on Switch 1. So in reality, there's only two exclusives for the rest of this year. So in reality, these are just remakes of old games. So in my opinion, there's no rush to get a Nintendo Switch 2. There's no rush. There's absolutely no rush. There is no that's someone that owns the Switch term and has had it for months now. There's no reason to get one because this is all the release the same games. There's no new exclusive. There's no new games like they brought Chronos, the New Dawn, and that was a game key card, and the game performs like crap on the Switch term. Performs like utter garbage. It really does. Even on the PS5, it performs like crap, to be honest. But you would think they'd get better exclusives. Imagine GTA 5 on the Nintendo Switch 2. We've heard those rumors. I just think it's BS. Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Nintendo Switch 2. I just reckon it's BS. Really do. There's no actual proof. And it just sounds like garbage anyway. They need actual big exclusives on this console. No one cares about Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8 on the Switch 2. No one cares. These are decade old games. And this is why no one's buying a Switch 2. This is why the Switch 2 is always in stock. Every single time I look at the Switch term, it's always in stock. Because no one's buying it, that's why. There's no reason to. There is no reason to buy a Switch term. And especially this controller, which is just the same as the first one. All this is just the Pro controller with Resident Evil slapped on it. And they're selling it you for 100. It's not an upgraded controller. It's not a better. At least with PlayStation, when they made a $100 controller, they actually gave you the ability to change things on the controller to change the thumbstick and stuff like that. Oh, Nintendo, they're just gonna sell you the same control. You can't change the thumbsticks. It's just the same controller as the Pro controller. I'd say it's a scam. PlayStation did it right. They gave you a $100 controller, but you could change the thumbstick. You could change so many things on it. Typical Nintendo, we're lazy. We're just going to sell you the same controller and not give you any options to change anything. And then again, they said if you change your Switch 2, we'll ban it. Says everything that I need to know about Nintendo. But I don't support these companies, I really don't. But this is the future now that we're living in, because a lot of the Zoomers, because they're the people buying these game key cards, these Zoomers, they play games like Fortnite, stuff like that, so they don't care about game preservation, because they play garbage games. There's the biggest BS that keeps still going round. Physical games on PlayStation still require an internet connection. They don't. That's the biggest garbage ever. But that's what they want. And as I said, if people continue to keep buying these game key cards, this is only going to continue. This is only going to continue. The more people buy this crap, and it's not going to stop. This isn't going to stop until people stop buying and supporting this crap. And they've brought Amiibo out as well. There's no image of it. I guarantee you they'll charge you like 60 to 90 just for the figure. And people will line up and buy it day one. And they wonder why gaming's in the state that it's in. Because people just buy anything. The only way to get the message across to game devs is stop buying this stuff. Stop buying it, stop supporting it. They'll get the message. They'll be like, hey, These people ain't buying game key cards. They're not buying these rip-off controllers. We might want to stop doing it. There's no reason for Nintendo to stop making game key cards because people are buying them. People are literally buying them. So it's not going to stop. And this is another thing. Even if Capcom, this is why I brought that up in the beginning of the video. Even if Capcom was given a 16GB option or a cheaper option to put these games on a cartridge, they still wouldn't do it. You want to know why? Here's two instances that are brought up at the start of the stream. Every Resident Evil collection that they put on the Switch has either been a download code or only one of the games is on the cartridge. As I brought up, the Resident Evil Originals collection. Well, it was either Originals or Origins collection. I own it on PS4. Because PS4 you actually have Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1 Remake on the disc, unlike the Switch version. Only one of them's on that cartridge. You gotta download the other one. Resident Evil Revelations. Only Revelations 2 I think is on the cartridge, and the first one you gotta download. There's probably more games that Capcom have released on the Switch that are just download codes. The Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6 collection, the triple pack that they released. Only RE4 was on the cartridge. The other two you had to download. So this is why I brought it up. Doesn't shock me. And then Capcom would not even put any of these games on the cartridge, even if they were given cheaper cartridges, because that's just the way they are. They don't care about physical media on the Switch. They honestly don't care. They're lazy. They've never cared about the Switch. The only time they did care was I'll show you the only time they did care. Because I own some of Capcom's games. Where are they? Just give me a second. This is the only time that Capcom cared. I'll show these. Turn this up for a minute. Let's get this a minute. Right. Here we are. So, this is the only time that Capcom cared. And hello, welcome to the stream. I'm not bad. What about you? This is the only time. So, as I said, welcome to the stream. I'm good. What about you? This is the only time when Capcom actually cared about physical media on the Switch. This is the only instance, the Ace Attorney collection. But they never released this in the UK or America. They only released it in Japan. So you see the track record of Capcom. They do not care about physical media on the Switch. They don't care. That's one. That was only released in America and Japan. They didn't release it in the UK because they don't care. That was only released in America. Now this one, I believe, was only released in America and basically Japan. The PS4 version for Ace Attorney's Investigation was only released in the UK. So you see the track record. This is the only time when Capcom cared about physical media on the Switch, because they tried to pull it, and many people were ranting about it. I'm sure people remember the Marvels vs. Capcom fighting collection on the Switch. I'm sure one of them was a download code, and then they got backlash and they said, hey, we're actually going to make a physical now. That's what people need to do. They need to give backlash to these companies like Capcom. You need to vote with your wallet. Otherwise, they're going to continue to take advantage of you, and they're not going to give you a true physical. And if people support it on PlayStation as well, support games where they're not fully on the disc, you'll continue to get that. Because these companies will get that impression, hey, these people don't actually want to own their games, so why would we spend our time and invest our time making a true physical when we could just not bother putting the full game on the disc and they'll still buy it anyway. So yeah, this is the only time when they actually cared about physical media, and there's not going to be another one of these. It's very obvious. There's never going to be another Ace Attorney game. They're too busy milking the Resident Evil franchise. And I guarantee you they'll put, I guarantee you RE4 remake. Basically, RE4 remake, I guarantee you, will come to the Switch too. They'll put RE2 remake, RE3 remake, and they'll charge it. They'll all be game key cards. Because I knew soon as it was announced that they were going to be game key cards. I just know. I was like, these are going to be game key cards, no doubt. So yeah. And when it called, the people that are called losers were basically the true Nintendo fanboys that just defend everyone. That doesn't apply to everyone, obviously. Wanted to make that very clear. It doesn't apply to everyone. Not every single Nintendo fan is a fanboy. It's just obvious. But the ones that are defending this, stuff like this, they're the problem. They are the problem. But if you can hear a noise outside, it's a dog. But honestly, the more I look at this controller, the more that I just laugh at how pathetic it is. It really is. The more you look at it, you realise how pathetic this controller actually is. No effort put into this at all. And eventually that's going to fade away. There's no 3D pop. All it looks like, I said, is they've just spray painted it on or something like that. Or they've just slapped it, photocopied an image onto the controller. No effort. Absolutely no effort in this controller at all. No effort. Ridiculous. I mean, you can say whatever you want about PlayStation, but at least PlayStation controls, like the God of War one, the Ghost of Tsushima one, at least they didn't charge you like 100 for them, the 75. And there actually effort's been put into those controllers, unlike this. This is a rip-off. It's a scam. That's exactly what this controller is. It's a scam. But again, Nintendo fanboys love slap. And Nintendo, like I said, could literally give them dog crap in a box, and Nintendo fanboys would still buy it. They'd still eat it up. Because that's typical Nintendo fanboys. They love being taken advantage of by a company. They really do. They defend them no matter what. They defend these companies making game keycards as well. It says everything that I need to know about these shill YouTubers. I don't watch them anyway. Can't stand them. Really can't stand any of them. Cause they're all the same. Like, oh, this game's awesome. This game's awesome. Yet complain about the price of Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, but will happily go out and buy Kirby the Forgotten Land, the same game. And even with that, the DLC for that, no effort was put into that. It's just the same levels. The DLC for that is just the same levels as the base game, but in crystal form. That's why I didn't buy Kirby the Forgotten Land, because it's trash. It really is. I'm not going to pay 62, almost nearly 70 for a game that's on the Switch 1 that isn't even that good to start with. And I'm not interested in Kirby either. This is my opinion. I'm not interested in Kirby. And that's just my opinion. But guarantee you're gonna see more of the Resident Evil games come to the Switch too. That's just obvious. It's very obvious, and there'll be game key cards, so don't get hyped for it. You'll have Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and they'll probably make another controller, guarantee you that. They'll probably make another controller and it'll say RE4 Remake or something like that. It'll be the same as low effort like this. And they might actually charge you like 120 for it next time. People will still buy it. And the collector's, I forgot to mention that, the collector's edition for this is an absolute laughable joke. It really is. Oh, pre-order the game and get a skin. That's an issue in the gaming industry as well. I don't pre-order games at all. I stopped pre-ordering them years ago. The pre-order items, I'll get an outfit of Lady Demetresk, stuff like that. And the collector's edition, like I said, is just a rip-off. They probably won't even give you the game in the collector's edition, because that's a thing that's become acceptable as well in the industry. They'll create a collector's edition. They'll give you low effort crap, and then they won't even give you the game. They'll just give you a download code. So yeah, if you're gonna buy these games, don't support the game key cards. Just buy them digital. Just buy them digital, honestly. Or just buy them on the PS5. I guarantee you that these games on PS5 are on sale. Just buy them digital. Don't support the game key cards. Buy it digital. Because buying the game key cards, you're just wasting money. You literally buy like the Final Fantasy VII remake on the Nintendo Switch 2. You're literally paying, I think it's like 50 or 60 for just a piece of plastic with nothing on it. And welcome to the stream. So yeah, just do what I said. Or you could easily just get it on Steam. You could easily just buy Resident Evil on Steam, or you could buy it on, I don't know whether it's on GOG. I know it's on Xbox, but again, Xbox doesn't really care about physical media, so just buy it on PlayStation. If you want to actually own this game physically, just get the PS5 version. And supposedly there's supposed to be a PS4 version of this. They need to stop doing that. Who is still playing on a PS4? So that means they probably invested so much resources wasting time on the PS4 version when it could have gone to the PS5. They could have spent more time on the PS5 version. You need to start making games for the PS4 because no one plays on a PS4. It's how long has the PS5 been out now? I'd recommend get a PS5 over a Switch too. I seriously would. Or just get a PC. Well, PC is not actually PC. I'd only recommend PC if you can afford a high-end PC. Me, I don't have a high-end PC. Don't even have a PC, because I can't afford one. I have a PS5, PS4, PS3, Switch 1, Switch 2. Used to have a Nintendo 64. See, I grew up with Nintendo, and they're not what they used to be. Now they're just a money hungry company that doesn't care about quality. Can't you get those games cheaper physically? Yeah, you can. I forgot to mention the price, but I got Resident Evil Village the other day. Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7. The DLC's just a download code. They never released a physical with the DLC on the disc. It is what it is. But these two games were 25 for these two games. Brand new as well. 25 for these two games. So you can literally get Resident Evil. You can get Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7 for 25. It's maybe cheaper. You could probably get it second hand. Or you could probably get it brand new even cheaper. Also, a lot of the Resident Evil games always go on sale. Just look at RE4 Remake. That game's like £14 now. That's how much it is. There's one point when, yeah, even the RE3 Remake is that price. So this is what I said. It's better to buy these games fit on PS5 or PS4. You own the game physically. If you buy the PS4 version, I think there's a free upgrade for the PS5. There's a PS5 download if you own the PS4 version physically, and I think even if you don't own it physically, there was a free update for the PS4 version. So you might as well just buy them on the PS5, and you actually own it, unlike the Switch 2. That is more expensive than this collection, though, isn't it? Doesn't it work out to be less than 20 for the two older games when you factor in the full price of the new game? Well, they've admitted that that's only a limited time, but you can get it probably cheaper if you want it. If you want it on the Switch too, just buy it digital. There's no reason to buy the game key cards. If you want to own it physically, then the option is PS5. But if you don't want to own it physically, just buy it digital. As I said, I got no problem with people buying this collection digital. That's not the issue here. It's the game keycard that's the problem, that I have a problem with. Digital, people are perfectly fine. Got no problem with people that are digital only. I don't support it, but the only thing that I'll continue to bash is the game keycards, because it's basically a replacement of the physical media. That's what it is. They're trying to call game keycards physical when they're not. It's just the same as digital. But yeah, just buy it digital, as I said. You can lend and sell a game key card, can't you, if you are the kind of person that likes to sell your games after you buy them. Yeah, you can sell them, but the point is, physical, you're not going to sell them to actual physical gamers, because people that, yeah, I guarantee you, you're not going to sell a game key card. People all just buy it digital. They'll get it cheaper digital, because there's no reason to buy a game key card secondhand. There's no reason to buy it at all. You just go buy it digital. Also, secondhand games on the Switch too is a risk, because anyone could easily use a mag, I think it's a mag game cartridge, because people have been banned on Nintendo Switch for using used games. So you could buy a used game key card and somebody could illegally took off because it's been done, there's videos, someone could take off the sticker off that. It could be a legal card. So no one's buying a used basically cartridge is not safe. There's a risk you can take, if because that game key card is connected to that person's account. So that means if they've done anything shady on their account, it'll link back to you and they'll ban you. So that's the risk you take if you buy secondhand Switch games, which I don't buy secondhand Switch games myself, because again I prefer mine brand new. Because there's a risk. Anyone could have done anything with that secondhand cartridge. Could have done something illegal. Now my Switch is not connected to the internet, so I don't have to worry about getting banned. I've never connected it to the internet because there's no reason to. If I want to play games online, which I don't anymore, I just go on the PS5. I understand the game key cards aren't only in the game, but if you are the kind, oh, I've already read that. No matter whether they are a game key card or a physical game, there are so few of those MIG switches around, and they don't even work for the Switch 2 games. Well, they do. You'd be surprised. But I don't trust secondhand games, and that's a risk that people can take by buying a secondhand game keycard. You don't know what's been done with that secondhand game keycard. Anything could have been done with it, and you can honestly put your account at risk. All of my Switch and Switch 2 games are secondhand, and I've never had a single issue with it. There are so few people who own those cartridges. A game key card isn't connected to someone's account. No, what about the game key cards? They are connected to your account. The game key cards are connected to your account because you're downloading it via the eShop. They're not linked. You can use it on someone else's account, but what I'm saying is, if someone's done some shady stuff on their account, I wouldn't trust it. But the game keycards are linked to your Nintendo Switch account. They're linked to your account. Yes, you can use it on a different account, but it is linked to the account. You can use it as many times as you want, but it is linked to the first user. And those defend. This is the issue. This is the issue that I'm talking about, and this is the problem. Because they're trying to normalize and get you to accept game key cards. This is why it's becoming a problem. They are, if you can't see that they're trying to replace physical media with these game key cards, I don't know what to tell you. They're trying to honestly replace physical media because because that's the argument that everyone brings up. Oh, you can you can use it, you can resell it. Obviously, you can resell it. You can resell every game that's not digital, but this is getting rid of physical media. That's the issue. That is my real issue, my real problem with the game keycards. I know exactly what Nintendo is doing. They are trying to phase out physical media through these game keycards because you've got companies calling them physical, even in the trailer for the Pac-Man, the Persona Free Reload, or whatever it's called. They called it a physical. It's not a physical, it's a digital download. So they're trying to get people to accept it. Then physical media is gone. And then you own nothing. You own nothing anymore. That's what they want. That's why the game keycards were designed to get you to accept and normalize you not owning anything. That's why you got companies like Square Enix saying that game keycards are a good thing and you should just accept it. So yeah, that is my problem and why I'm against the game keycard. It's not that they're digital only, because I bought digital games myself. I stopped buying digital only games long time ago. But it's trying to get rid of physical media. If anything, a game keycard is safer if you are worried about piracy. Well, because there is no data to copy. It's not really though, because as I gave an instance, anyone can easily say it's a game keycard and rip off the sticker, and it could be one of those MIG cartridges. You never know. It's happened. It's happened to people. As I said, one guy bought a second-hand game, and that game was connected to the person's account. He put it in his Switch. Later on, he got banned because it was linked to that other person's account. So yes, you may not think these games are not linked to your account. They are. Nintendo has the data when you connect to the online. So they can track who first used that game key card. They can track. So it is linked. And yes, not every game is on the cartridge. Not everyone is. There's some Switch games where they're just broken and they're called the code in the box nonsense. They'll have physical versions of the Nintendo Switch, but they'll you'll have to download the rest. Instances like Tony Hawk, stuff like that. They don't tell you that require NBA. List goes on. But the only true physicals on the Nintendo Switch is the first parties and those these, where is it? These indie devs, like I said. Now, again, like I said, the companies that are doing game key cards is going to be ending it soon because it's getting really, really late. I didn't want it to be over an hour long, but these are indie dev companies, and they're literally, yes, all these games are probably going to be like 50. The price has been leaked, but you own the game. Now, all these companies like Capcom have to do is charge 50 for the game. Why can't they do that? Why can't they charge people 50 like these devs are doing? Because again, it's not about money, it's about agenda. They don't want you to own what you pay for. These companies do. That's the agenda. That's why I know that the game key cards are to phase out physical media. It's not about money. You can tell it's not about money. These companies are just anti consumer and anti physical media. They just don't want you to own it. Because let's be realistic, people would happily pay extra to own the game on the cartridge. Mortal Kombat, the collection, they did the right thing. They're releasing it for the Switch too, but they're upping the price for it. I've got no problem with that. Got no problem with these developers making it full price because at least you own it. And developers that make it full price and put the full game on the cartridge deserve that money. They deserve the respect. These companies that do this deserve it. They literally deserve the money. These developers, people like Capcom, don't deserve anything because they're releasing game key cards when they could easily put the full game in the cartridge. The cartridges are like 60 something gig, and they could charge you like 50, but they won't because they don't want you to own it. And if people complain about the price, tough. People complained about Mario Kart, but they still bought it. People complained about the Switch 2 price, they still bought it. This is what you got to understand about a lot of people. They'll cry about the price, but they'll still end up buying it anyway. So it's just an excuse. These companies I've got respect for. They're putting the full game on the cartridge because they actually care about ownership. They actually care about consumers, and they actually I the devs that put the full game on the cartridge should be supported. Everyone should be supporting these companies that put the full game on the cartridge because you should show these companies, hey, we respect and support you putting full games in the cartridge because then they'll continue to do it. That's what should happen. The ones that don't do it, stop supporting them. I know every single first party game's on the cartridge. As I said, it's the third parties, the ones that are doing it. They're the ones doing it. I know the first parties are on the cartridge. There are no Nintendo published games that are game keycards or codes in the box. Well, there is. There's codes in the box. It, I'm guessing you don't live in the UK because in the UK there's many code in the box games. Many. And I don't know how the scam is when they're putting the full game in the cartridge. What's the scam about it? They're putting the full game in the cartridge. What's the scam about that? What's the scam about this? But yeah, I'm probably going to be ending it here now. I didn't mean it to be about an hour long. So yeah, point of this is support devs that put the full game in the cartridge, as they deserve the support and the respect. Companies that don't put the full game in the cartridge don't deserve people's respect. Um, shouldn't have anyone's money. Vote, as the saying goes, vote with your wallet, and these companies will learn. So yeah, just gonna end it here. Didn't mean for it to be this long. I'll see you in the next live stream. I appreciate everyone for the support. It means a lot. And I'll see you in the next live stream. Take care. Thank you for all the support. Really do appreciate it. Later. Have a great day, everyone.